Alright, so this is my third lecture, part 3 of my short response 1 and 2 writing lecture. One thing I want to mention here, everything that I type here are just like notes and practice. The other handouts, material are all available on your Blackboard, and some of them are available on your Teams as well, most of them actually. So now, in the previous two lectures, part 1 of short response 1 and 2, I discussed reading strategies, how you can read the article, what type of information to select, what type of information to ignore. Part 2, I gave you an overview of how many paragraphs you have to write, how many words, just general introduction to paragraphs, like what is, how many, so introduction has 3 parts, body 1 has 3 parts, body 2 has 3 parts. So in this part, I'm going to go into detail about each paragraph one by one. But I told you, I mentioned in my previous reading that previous lecture, that you have to use divorce in India article. You have to read divorce in India article, which is available on Blackboard and Teams, before you watch this video, because that's the only way you could understand everything in this video. If you have not read the divorce in India article, you should stop watching this video and read the article first. Read using my strategies, or you read the whole article. That is totally up to you. Now, the article I am talking about is this one, Divorce in India, available on both Blackboard and Teams. Okay, so when you read this article, as I said, you will read first and last, two sentences in the first part. So one thing you will notice here, when you read the article quickly, you will think this is main idea 1, that this is about causes of divorce in India. This is the first cause, this is the second cause, this is the third cause, and that's it. This is the conclusion. However, if you notice carefully, you will see that here, one of the major causes is about women are getting financially independent. But then toward the end, that this is about women have become more aware of their rights after marriage and would seek divorce if they felt trapped in their marriage. This is a little bit different from this idea. So basically this is another idea here, not explained in detail. Okay, so 2 ideas here, one here, one here. So basically there are 4 different ideas, you can say. Okay, so this is the article. You should read this article, find the information to understand this video. And I'll go back to my lecture, part 3. Okay, so short response 1 and 2. Lecture, part 3. Short response, practice of introduction paragraph first. Let's talk about introduction. As I said in my previous lecture, part A is citation plus thesis. So here you are. I told you I'm using the Divorce in India article. So the last name of the author is Kalra. According to Kalra 2011, this is the citation. There are several causes or factors leading to increasing divorce rate in India. One way of writing it, another option. Kalra 2011 discussed APA citation, different causes of increasing divorce rate in India. The thesis. So, okay, so after the first sentence, you need to write a short summary. How do you write the short summary? Remember when I told you to read the article in my reading part? I'm not talking about summary writing. I'm talking about response writing now. So it's different. 2 different things here. Do not get confused with summary writing. So here you have to write 1 to 2 sentence summary, only the main ideas. If the article has more than 5 main ideas, like 6 main ideas, 7 main ideas, you will select only 5 main ideas. That's all. So after writing the first sentence, you need to write a short summary. I prefer personally 1 sentence summary, but sometimes it is difficult for students to write 1 sentence. So you can write 2 sentence summary. So it's 1 to 2 sentence summary. Some teachers, as I said in my previous lecture, allow up to 3 sentences. Also okay, but I personally prefer 2 sentences maximum. 2 sentences. So now what do you do? When you are reading the article, or after you finish reading, you find all the main ideas. So for example, in my case, you have to make a list. Just make a list somewhere so that you can use that list to write these 1 or 2 sentences. All the main ideas. So in this case, these are causes, and I found 4 causes. Financial freedom of women, more right awareness, and family parental involvement, and okay, among women, family parental involvement or parental influence, personal and lifestyle differences. These are the 4 ideas from the article. I tried my best to paraphrase a little bit, but you have to try your best to do your best paraphrasing. I'm just saving time here, not to go toward paraphrasing as much. So the first sentence is done. This is the first sentence. So I have to combine these 4 causes into 1 or 2 sentences to write my short summary. But how do you start? So this is the first sentence, as I said, according to Kalra 2011, comma, there are several causes or factors leading to increasing divorce rate in India. This is the citation plus thesis of the article. Now I have to combine 4 causes. What I did, I used 4, but how to start? I used 2 sentences to combine these 4. So the author, you can say the author, the writer, the article, Kalra, you can use first name, last name, doesn't matter. This is not APA. Discussed some causes of divorce, including first idea, second idea, financial freedom and their awareness of rights, full stop. And then in addition, the author discussed family involvement and personal and lifestyle differences as possible causes of divorce. So 2 sentence summary. All 4 main ideas are there. We don't need anything from examples or subpoints here. Next part is your thesis statement. And in my previous lecture, I showed you the structure of all paragraphs. So the structure of thesis is you have 2 things. The 2 ideas you selected. It could be 2 main ideas, 2 subpoints, 1 main idea and 1 subpoint. And your position. You agree with both of them, you disagree with both of them, and you agree with one and disagree with the other one. But remember, don't just quickly select agree, I agree, I agree, I disagree, I disagree. Read it carefully and then see what side. If you agree with that idea, you have better examples, a stronger response. Or when you disagree with author's opinion, you have a stronger response. Don't be quick. Spend some time looking at the idea and then see what examples writer has used, because you're not going to copy writer's examples or reasons in your response. So make sure you have better reasons, stronger reasons, different reasons, not copy paste, to decide if you're going to agree or disagree with the ideas. Now, thesis. So first option is here the first one is if I agree with both ideas. So both ideas, this is how you write the thesis statement. Simple. Both ideas about financial freedom and rights awareness among women are, look at the words here. You can say valid, strong, sensible, logical, makes sense. To what are these words showing, these positive words? That I agree with these ideas. If you use the word agree or disagree, you have to use I. Now I, you, we, our, us, you, they are all out of PF1. They were out of post foundation 1, they're out of post foundation 2. You're not using that language. So that's why you have to use these words. Another option, same thing. The ideas about financial freedom and more awareness among women are both sensible. So simple thesis statement, make your life easy. This is very simple. I have both ideas. I have my position very clear to my teacher. I can get full points for this thesis. Okay, then option 2. If I disagree with both of them, both ideas about financial freedom and personal difference is not much different from this one where I agree. The only difference is here in the word. It will be negative, illogical, invalid. Doesn't make sense. Arguable. Right? So that's it. This is the thesis with my position. What if I agree with one idea because I have better response? If I disagree with the other opinion, so it can be a mixed thesis. This is the language. You can take this and just replace your ideas. You can use this structure whenever you write the thesis, so you are safe. Although the idea of financial freedom of women makes sense, the idea about small differences in the house is not valid, not true, is not logical, right? Is arguable. So one of those words to show that you disagree with this idea. So this is a complete introduction now. 3 parts. Citation plus thesis, summary with the author's reference here, and my thesis. Body 1 and body 2. I'm only talking about 1 because they are both same. The only difference is body 1 is for in your thesis you have 2 ideas, right? So first body is for the first idea, second body is for the second idea. Steps are similar. So first sentence is always topic sentence, and it must be 1 sentence. And topic sentence must have 3 things. What are those 3 things? Optional, this one, the first one. So, well, then not 3 things, but better to have a transition word. Most important, very important, must is to have. So for body 1, you take your first idea from your thesis, and for body 2, you will take your second idea from the thesis. But try not to copy exactly from the thesis. Your grade will be a little bit lower on the rubric. At least 1 word is paraphrased if you cannot change anything. So if I'm taking financial freedom, I at least change freedom, maybe, at least 1 word. So let me show you the example of topic sentence here. Firstly, this is a transition. The idea of the financial, I didn't paraphrase much, as I said I'm saving time. Financial freedom of women makes sense. Transitional word. Idea, this is my first idea, all of this up to women. And my position makes sense. Because I said valid in my thesis statement, so I changed the language here. Makes sense. Topic sentence. What is next? So after the topic sentence, in the topic sentence, I only mentioned the idea. What idea I'm talking about? Financial freedom of women. I didn't mention anything to my reader, to my teacher. What did the writer say about financial freedom? So I need to mention something about it. So I have to write second part of my body 1 or body 2, they are same. Second sentence here. Only one sentence. Here you will paraphrase author's view for the idea you have selected. So I have selected financial freedom. It's a main idea. So I have to go to the paragraph and select one sentence, one example, 1.5 sentence, 2 sentences, something with which, because he has said a lot of things about financial freedom. So I will select one of them, one of his points, and discuss, paraphrase it. Only paraphrase the idea from the sentence you are going to agree or disagree with. You cannot agree or disagree with the whole paragraph. You don't have time and you don't have word limit for that. That's a detailed response paper, real one. But this is a short response. So you select one example, 1.5 sentence, 2 sentences, and then paraphrase it. Okay, so I did it. I selected 2 sentences from the middle of the paragraph. But how do you write here? How do you mention that this is the paraphrase? This way again. The author, the writer, first name of the writer, last name of the writer, full name of the writer. Mentions, mention. Remember, this is not APA citation. This is just a reference that this is author's words. Has mentioned that women now are employed and they are not dependent on their husbands for financial needs, which sometimes leads to divorce. This is the author's opinion, and I'm going to agree with this and explain why I agree with this. But see, one sentence. In the paper is 2 sentences in the article. So you go to the article. If you selected an example or subpoint, you only paraphrase that example or subpoint here. If you selected the main idea like I selected, you have to go to the paragraph and select something and just paraphrase it here, not the whole paragraph. Okay. So this is the second part of body 1 and body 2 both. What is the third part? So first part, topic sentence, only one sentence. Second part, second sentence is, we call it second part also. You will paraphrase the author's view for the idea you have selected. Okay, only one sentence, and your paraphrase is one sentence only. You can select 2 sentences and paraphrase it in 1.5. It depends on what information you are going to select. Third part. Sentence 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7. So it could be minimum, it must be minimum 4 sentences if you need a reasonable grade. If you want to be on a safe side on the rubric. Even 4 sentences don't give you the guarantee, because some students write only two sentences. Here, this part. And this is the real assignment response. 2 sentences, 20 points on the midterm exam. See, it's not going to work like that. So you have to write your reasons, your response, minimum 4 sentences, which means 2 different reasons. Reason number 1, why do you agree with this? Why do you disagree with this? Explain it. So automatically 2 sentences. Reason number 2, and then explain it. Automatically 2 sentences. More is better. I'm giving you the minimum here. Alright, so how do you write it? This is how you write it. So this is the part, third part. You give your position again. So how many times you are giving your position for one idea? In the thesis statement, in the topic sentence, when you start your response, 3 times for idea 1 and 3 times for idea 2. So this idea is, but keep changing your language and style. Don't use the same words, true, valid, arguable. No. So this idea is true because one option. What the author suggests here makes sense because. This sounds realistic because, and then you start your reasons or explanation one by one. 2 minimum, as I said. 4 sentences minimum. In the end, this is optional. If you like to do it, good. If you don't want, it's fine. Fourth part, concluding sentence, only one sentence, summary, suggestion, recommendation, advice, without I, without personal pronoun. So to conclude, in the end, finally, for both body, if you give your concluding sentence in body 1, you should do the same in body 2. Cannot do it for one body paragraph. Make it balanced. So this is it. Introduction has 3 parts. Now you know. body 1 has 3 parts and body 2 has 3 parts. But the most important thing is your response part, the third part of body 1, the third part of body 2 must be minimum 4 sentences. More is required and more is safer and better. Well, less than 4 is automatically a poor grade. Even 4 is not a great thing, but you can pass it. The assignment, you can pass it. Alright, so this is my example here. There are samples on the Blackboard and Microsoft Teams. There is annotated samples on Blackboard and Microsoft Teams. So you can match my videos with those samples. Ask any question if you have from your teacher. If I am your teacher, ask me. Whoever is your teacher, you can ask that teacher for any explanation or clarification. For right now, that's it. All the best.